Welcome back. We're live, everybody. Mike Phillip filling in for Dr. Peter Glidden here on Fire Your MD Now Radio, the Genesis Communications Network, coming at you live from Western Canada, Central Alberta. I love this province. I do. I love Alberta. It's a great place. We got some really tough people around here, guys working in the oil patch. Tough guys. But what I'm seeing is people are breaking down an unprecedented rate. We have a socialized healthcare system here in Canada, and I realize that a lot of my listeners are in the United States. I'd say probably the majority. But the fact of the matter is, you guys got it coming down the pipe, and you might as well know exactly what you have coming. And I'm going to get into that in a little bit. I'm going to tell you what happens when you hand your hard-earned cash and labor over to unnamed boards and bureaucrats. They take your money and they claim that they're going to do what's best for you, and they leave you flat-footed. Now, if you have a scrape on your finger and you're one of those people that goes running to the doctor every time something happens or you got a slight pain here or there, the system works great. It works great. I mean, really. If there's really not much wrong with you, it works awesome. But what happens when you have a severe breakdown? I'll tell you what happens. You get put on a waiting list. Now, when I was a kid, during the Ralph Klein years here in Alberta, we constantly heard this tagline, "We will not have a two-tiered healthcare system in Alberta," because there was a lot of people that wanted to privatize because the system just couldn't keep up with it, and it was already buckling back then. Costs were astronomical. Taxes are going up. Alberta spends $1.4 million per hour on healthcare. And what kind of healthcare do you get with that? Well, if you got a heart condition, we'll give you an aspirin. If there's anything wrong with you at all, we will most definitely throw an SSRI reuptake inhibitor at you, because most likely you're depressed at the fact that you're not getting better and the best medical science in the world, so-called, can't help you out. Call in line is 1-844-374-5433. Once again, 1-844-374-5433. Call us up, talk to us about anything you want to talk to at all. This show is about you. It's not about me. I will talk a little bit about what I've been doing lately with Youngevity and helping my community and my family get their health back. But first of all, I want to talk about a major fail in scientific research when it comes to healthcare. Now, normally, that wouldn't be a big deal. But this affects people's lives. And they're breaking down. So I'm going to go through this story for this first segment, and in the second segment, we're going to take your calls. Haywood, Soledad, hang on, stay where you're at. I see you, and we're going to talk to you. Fox News is reporting scientists question link between saturated fat and heart disease. Well, you've been told that your whole life. Don't eat fat, don't eat meat, don't eat butter. Saturated fat does not cause heart disease, or so concluded a big study published in March of the journal Annals of Internal Medicine. How could this be? Could it be that we were wrong for the last, since 1950? How could it be? The very cornerstone of dietary advice for generations, maybe one, has been that the saturated fats in butter, cheese, and red meat should be avoided because they clog your arteries. For many diet-conscious Americans, it's simply second nature to opt for chicken over sirloin and canola oil over butter. Well, I'm working on that canola oil thing. I'll tell you what, I've got a lot of people around here having miraculous health recoveries, and they're eating butter over oil in a bottle. The new study's conclusions shouldn't surprise anyone familiar with modern nutritional science. However, the fact is, there's never been solid evidence for the idea that these fats cause disease. We only believe this to be the case, and get this, I like how they word this here, because nutrition policy has been derailed over the past half century by a mixture of personal ambition, bad science, politics, and bias. Our distrust of saturated fat can be traced back to the 1950s, to a man named Ansel Benjamin Keys, scientist at the University of Minnesota. Keys was formidably persuasive, and through sheer force of will rose to the top of the nutrition world, even gracing the cover of Time magazine for relentlessly championing the idea that saturated fats raise cholesterol and as a result cause heart attacks. Well, you were on Time magazine's cover, big deal, so was Hitler. And this guy, through his phony, crappy advice, has probably killed almost as many people. So, you got this guy, he's like the bully scientist. He's going around taking the other scientists' lunch money and giving them wedgies. He's pushing this idea that saturated fat causes heart attacks. As the director of the largest nutrition study to date, Keys was in an excellent position to promote his idea. Not only that, he was surrounded by a bunch of foam rubber backbone intellectual cowards. The seven countries study that he conducted on nearly 13,000 men in the US, Japan, and Europe ostensibly demonstrated that heart disease wasn't the inevitable result of aging, but could be linked to poor nutrition. Well, he's right about that. Critics have pointed out, and this is good, okay? They're going to tell you why scientists are just now starting to question this. And then they're going to tell you exactly the reasons, which are very good ones, which have been around since 1950. For one, he didn't choose countries randomly, but instead selected only those likely to prove his beliefs, including Yugoslavia, Finland, and Italy. Excluded were France, land of the famously healthy omelet eater, as well as other countries where people consumed a lot of fat, yet didn't suffer from high rates of heart disease, like Switzerland, Sweden, West Germany. The study's star subjects upon whom much of our current understanding of the Mediterranean diet is based were peasants from Crete, islanders who tilled their fields, went into old age, and appeared to eat very little meat or cheese. So get this, as it turns out, Keys visited Crete during an unrepresentative period of extreme hardship after World War II, so they didn't have much food. Furthermore, he made the mistake of measuring the islanders' diet partly during Lent, when they were foregoing meat and cheese. Keys therefore undercounted their consumption of saturated fat. Also, due to problems with the studies, he ended up relying on data from just a few dozen men, far from the representative sample of 655 that he had initially selected. So this guy cherry-picked his data, and even cherry-picked it further after he cherry-picked it in the first place. These flaws weren't revealed until much later in a 2002 paper by scientists investigating the work on Crete. But by then, the misimpression left by his erroneous data had become international dogma. You hear me? Dogma. You don't trust saturated fat. You don't trust in eating butter and fatty foods and meat because you have a religion. You don't know why. You just know that that's what everybody else believes, and the Cheerios commercial told me, so I need to believe it. Other studies ensued. A half dozen large important trials pitted a high diet in vegetable oil, usually corn or soybean, but no olive oil, against one with more animal fats. But these trials, mainly from the 1970s, also had serious methodological problems. Some didn't control for smoking, for instance, or allowed men to wander in and out of the research group over the course of the experiment. The results were unreliable at best. But there was no turning back. Too much institutional energy and research money had already been spent trying to prove Key's hypothesis. It's wrong, but we got to keep going. A bias in its favor had grown so strong that the idea just started to seem like common sense. as Harvard nutrition professor Mark Hegstead said in 1977, after successfully persuading the U.S. Senate to recommend Key's diet for the entire nation, the question wasn't whether Americans should change their diets, but, hey, why not? Important benefits can be expected, he argued. The risks? That was his answer. In fact, even back then, other scientists were warning about the diet's potential unintended consequences. Today, we're dealing with the reality that these have come to pass. One consequence is that cutting back on fats, blah, 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 they go on with a bunch of more erroneous information. See, they're ever learning and never able to come to the knowledge of the truth. You know, and if you're a guy like me, I surf the net daily looking for health news because, number one, I've got a show to do every Friday. But it's easy. It really is. They almost do my job for me because they're constantly coming out with reasons why the things that we believe that have been propagated by the pharmaceutical industry and by the MDs are killing us. They're not just killing you, you're going to kill your kids. Going to kill your dad. Going to kill your mom. How do you like that? They're going to kill you. They're going to slow you down and keep you from your maximum potential. I believe Thomas Jefferson once said, I have sworn before the altar of God, never-ending hostility toward every form of tyranny over the minds of men. Eternal hostility towards every form of tyranny over the minds of men. And if you get a medical, government-established dogma coming along and teaching you things that are going to kill you, well, I got eternal hostility towards that. Mike Phillip filling in for Dr. Peter Glidden. We're going to take your calls back after this. Welcome back. We're live. Mike Phillip filling in for Dr. Peter Glidden. Getting ready to take some calls here, but before I do, I'd just like to send out a reminder. If you are in Alberta or anywhere in Canada or the United States for that matter, you've got a number you can call to get a member of Team Glidden. That's 1-800-705-6892. Once again, that's 1-800-705-6892. And we are dedicated to helping you build a business and help you get back the health of your family, your community, your country, and therefore building things up for everybody. We're going to go over to Haywood in North Carolina. Haywood, can you hear me?
Yes.
How you doing, sir?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm doing all right, man. What's on your mind today?
All right. Well, I got a quick question. My father had got a call from his doctor, and they said that he was on stage 4 and he was heading for dialysis. However, his the specialist didn't mention anything about it. So we got his doctor saying one thing, and the specialist is saying something else. But we had watched one of Dr. Wallach's videos, and it was talking about taking the Ultimate Daily. And but we did see the warning about the MAO inhibitors. Uh-huh. And he is taking Xanax and the sertraline. So we were trying to figure out if there's something else that he can take in place of that, or is there something else he can do to get rid of the Xanax and the sertraline?
You know, it's funny that you brought that up because, number one, you mentioned the Ultimate Daily. That's the first thing that popped in my head when you started talking. Not only that, but Xanax. I'm going to be reading a story in a little bit here from CNN about emergency rooms seeing increased visits from problems with Xanax. Now, here's the deal. You can't just drop a serotonin reuptake inhibitor. Okay, you can't do that. Now, anything in a Healthy Start pack, like if your dad's got kidney problems, it's not going to interfere with the drugs, okay? Mm-hmm. Nothing in there is going to hurt him. But what he's going to have to do is he's going to have to talk to his pharmacist and mention that he's doing better and feeling better once he does, and ask him about weaning off those drugs because, frankly, people can go nuts if they just quit cold turkey. It's a dangerous thing to do, and you've got to get some professional advice on how to do it. The good news is that I was hanging out with Dr. Wallach and we were talking about kidneys specifically. Pardon me. And he told me that he's never seen a kidney that was actually done, just clogged. And once you get your body nutrified properly, that kidney will actually clean itself up and start working again. So you're going to want to get your dad. Have you been listening to this show for a while, Haywood?
Yes.
Okay, so you know what Dr. Glidden would tell you about the 10 bad food list. Do you have a copy of that?
Yes. Yeah. I just had them on your webinar that you did not too long ago.
Okay, you watched the webinar on kidneys.
The good and bad foods?
Yeah, that's perfect. You know what? A guy like you and me, I'm not a doctor, right? I host this show, but what I am is a good student. And that means I listen to Dr. Glidden's show every day. I watch the webinars. I'm an insider. And that gives me the ammunition that I need to go out and tackle these problems. Now, if you can find a good pharmacist that's willing to work with you, I see no reason why you cannot get your dad's health back and get him off those drugs. You and I, we don't know how far is too far. Only God knows that. But how old is your dad?
63, I believe.
63, okay. Well, I don't think that's too late. I've seen people in their 60s start on this and come out of the weeds in their health in not too long of a period of time. But definitely tell your dad to give it 90 days. Follow that 10 bad food list like a religion, okay? Not like the religion of not eating saturated fats I was just talking about, but one that actually has science to back it up, which the 10 bad food list does. And let's see what we can do for your dad. Keep in touch with the show. So, Haywood, how long have you been using the products?
I've been on about a year.
And what have you noticed? What's going on with you?
Well, they had diagnosed me with diabetes, and they had told me to take metformin. So, and I looked at what the side effects were, and I was like, I wasn't having that. So, I got on the products, and I think like maybe 4 weeks, my numbers were good. So I haven't taken any kind of medication in over a year.
Haywood is kicking butt in North Carolina, and he's going to help his dad, and he conquered diabetes on his own. Mike Phillip filling in for Dr. Glidden, back with Soledad and Gary right after this. Welcome back. We're live. Mike Phillip filling in for Dr. Peter Glidden. The call-in line is 844-374-5433 or 844 Dr. Glidden, DRGLIDDEN. Now, as I mentioned before, we got a call line here for Team Glidden, 1-800-705-6892. You want to talk about longevity products, how to get your health back, how to save a child? 1-800-705-6892. And we are a dedicated group. We want to help you. We want to build you up. This is my mission in life. I was always kind of a crazy guy, but there was something that I was supposed to do. I just didn't know what it was. Well, when I found longevity and I saw people getting better all around me, not only that, but getting my own health back. There was a time when I couldn't hardly breathe. I'd probably be on oxygen today if longevity didn't come along, but it did. And I thank God for that. Haywood in North Carolina got over diabetes. How many people do you know that can say that they got over their own diabetes? Well, I'll tell you what, I know a few. We're going to go over to Soledad in Connecticut after that. Gary in East Lake. Soledad, can you hear me?
Yes, I do.
How you doing?
I'm very good. I'm very happy. It's my first time calling.
Well, I'm glad you did. What's on your mind, Soledad?
All right, I have two questions about thyroid. The first one, the product was sold. I became a distributor this past March, and so one of the people below me made a sale to this young woman who has a sister in Jordan, and the sister has an overactive thyroid, And she's only 26 years old. She's been having this issue since she was 15. She's 143 pounds. And the doctors in Jordan told her that the thyroid has to be removed completely. And then on top of that, they told her that they cursed her because they told her she would never be able to have children. So, and I'm just looking for, I already, this is what she bought. The Healthy Start Pack, the selenium, the Z-Radical, and the Mirror Oil. And then I sent her the 10 bath foods. I have given her a lot of information because we work together. Anybody who's selling something, then I do the research or whatever. So I'm sending all the information to them. I have still to send her a video that I found. I became an insider this week. So I found a video about taking the supplements, so I still have to send her that. So I have done as much as I can, but I don't know what to answer to that question about having her thyroid removed.
Well, here's the deal. I don't believe that if it was me, let me put it this way. If it was me, I would wait and see what the products do. Now, it sounds, Soledad, like you're super awesome, and you've pretty much done my job for me because I would have said the exact same thing for what she's going to be taking. Now, it might take a little while. It might take a little while, but
about how long can I give hope to the sister who is here in the United States to tell the sister to hold on, because I kept giving her, to envision herself. I told her about, talking to the thyroid because she's about to receive the products in about a week. I told her, just rub your thyroid and talk to it and so many things. So about how long do you think? So I can give her sister at least a little limb or something.
Yeah, tell her to give it 90 days. There's a saying in longevity, and that's 90 for life, okay? That 90 covers 90 essential vitamins, minerals, and amino and fatty acids, but give it at least 90 days. When's she scheduled for surgery? Has that come up yet?
I don't know. She's still going to the doctors, and I'm trying because something similar happened to me. I went for hysterectomy, and the doctor decided just to remove everything and give me a total hysterectomy without my permission. And so I know what is to lose your organs,
Whoa, wait a minute, Soledad. They gave you a hysterectomy without your permission?
A total hysterectomy.
Without your permission?
I was supposed to go only for a fibroid. And at that time, that was in 1997. And so I didn't know. I just didn't know. I kept searching for information. I could not. And so I just went for the hysterectomy. And then she took me into the operating room, and she fully removed everything. And then after I woke up from the anesthesia, she just said to me, well, I want to let you know I removed everything because to prevent cancer.
Oh, wow. So did you sue him?
No.
I would have.
But I do have, that was a long time back, and I need to get that thing over with. And one of these days, I got her address, her phone number, and I'm going to go back to that town, and I want to see her in person. I just want to let her know what she has put me through, because I've been having a thyroid issue for about 30 years now, and my issue is that I have an underactive thyroid, and I have gone through quite a lot with it. And I believe that between the hysterectomy and doctors over-medicating me and doing things to me, and I lost 20 pounds that I didn't need to lose. 30 pounds from the doctors. I just lost 20 pounds in this year only from just bad medication. They brought me down from 112 to 92 pounds. Plus another 10 pounds they had, because originally I was about 122, 123. So they brought me all the way down, the doctors, down to 92 pounds. And now I'm raising my weight, and now I'm between 99 and 100, and I keep raising it little by little. So my question to you about me is because this is something that I every day, because those are the only, I take Cytonel and Synthroid, and I just want to know what can I do? I mean, because I would like to be completely off medication, but I took myself off the medication last year, and my body went through something really horrible. I felt fine for about 2 or 3 months. Everything was fine, and then all of a sudden I took a big dive. So right now I'm back on medication for the last few months or whatever, and so I just don't know what to do.
Yeah. How long have you been taking the products?
The products, I started taking them in about the middle of March, but I started with the liquid minerals. I took the FX because supposedly I have osteoporosis, and the OsteoXX, and I took I bought the colloidal silver, I bought the enzymes, the FAAs. I'm doing a little bit of everything. I'm trying, and now for this month, what I'm going to order is going to be all for the digestive system, because this medication that they continue to give me are destroying my. I get it well with the products and everything, and it goes back to zero again.
Yeah. So they've kind of backed you into a corner where you have to keep taking their meds and going back to them. Otherwise, you get sick. Meanwhile, they've removed stuff from your body without even asking you. I mean, talk about I don't even know what to say about that. Yeah. What you're going to have to do is keep going the same way that you have, okay? Mm-hmm. And see how you feel. I was the same thing with Haywood I was talking to here. I've got a lady locally here who, and this is unrelated, but it's kind of along the same lines. She's on 20 different medications. She was about 20% kidney use, and they were going to put her on dialysis. And the day she ordered her products, and the day that they got here, she ended up in the hospital with a stroke before she even tried them. So, ideally, I would like to see people get on with the program before they get sick, but that didn't happen with you. My advice to you, if it was me, I'd keep doing what I'm doing and watch for changes. Keep in touch with the show and talk to Dr. Glidden. As for your friend, I would have her watch. You're an insider, right? So you can bring up your insider account anywhere there's an internet connection. So have your friend watch the thyroid health webinar with you, because you don't want her to go through the same thing that you went through.
Yes.
So, and here's the deal, Soledad, if she doesn't listen, then she doesn't listen, right? I mean, I deal with people I deal with people all the time. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink, but you're going to have to shoot the horse after it gets its leg cut off from diabetes. And it's sad, but honestly, Soledad, what I'd like to see you do is use your life to make sure that this doesn't happen to any other young girl again. Like this friend of yours, she's way too young to be going through this. Her thyroid should be functioning normally. I mean, if I could add anything to what you told me, I would suggest the Ocean's Gold from Youngevity because of the iodine. Okay, iodine's very, very important for thyroid function. And if they're just going to cut her her thyroid out, that's going to leave her having to take medication to balance out her hormones for the rest of her life. And that's what we want to avoid.
That's what they told her, that she's going to have to take medication, just like they told me with the Hashimoto. That's what I have. And they say for the rest of my life. And I don't like that sentence. I don't like nobody to curse me that way, especially a doctor. I believe that the thyroid, if you work with it, if you work with the organs of your body, they can be restored to this natural, the way that they're supposed to function. And that's
the way that God intended. The way that God intended for you to work.
Exactly.
Soledad, I salute you for reaching out to your friend, and you've got a story to tell, and you need to use that story to make sure it doesn't happen to anybody else. Now, as far as what they did to you, Dr. Wallach is fond of saying you can't undo surgery. What's done is done. However, I would like you to keep an eye on things and monitor your own health. I'm rooting for you, Soledad. I really hope you can get it back. So take that webinar, show it to your friend, keep doing what you're doing. If you don't get any positive results, okay, like you say, you'll get good for a little while and then you're taking a nosedive. I would up what you're doing, and then when you start getting better results, keep an eye on how you feel with your medication and talk to your pharmacist about getting off of it. Soledad, I'm backing you. I know it doesn't mean much all the way coming here from Canada, and I've never met you, but I actually care about how you do here. And I want you to keep in touch with the show. Call back when Dr. Glidden's on. I realize you're a first-time caller, but let's see if we can get you out of the weeds and help your friend. This should not happen to any girl ever. So your doctor actually removed things from you while you were under sedation and then told you it was for your own good after. Well, you know what? I would be suing to, oh man, I'm telling you. Mike Phillip filling in for Dr. Peter Glidden. I hear the music. That means we got a break coming up. Soledad, we're going to let you go. Call back in. Keep up the good fight. Mike Phillip filling in for Dr. Peter Glidden, back after this. Hey, Mike Phillip filling in for Dr. Peter Glidden on Fire Your MD Now radio on the Genesis Communications Network. And I just got a text from my good friend Mike in Ottawa, Ontario. And I'm going to give you an acronym, okay? SUAEI. Okay? SUAEI. This is a method of supplement ingestion. You know what that stands for? Shut up and take it. Shut up and eat it, sorry. SUAEI. Remember that and you'll always do well. Mike Phillip filling in for Dr. Peter Glidden. 844-374-5433 is the call-in line. Or if you want to get in touch with Team Glidden, 1-800-705-6892. We're interested in helping you get your health back. And we're interested in helping you build a business if that's what you want to do. Let's go over to Gary in East Lake. Gary, how you doing?
Very fine, Mike. Glad you're here. I wasn't aware that anyone was on besides Dr. Glidden.
Yeah, well, you know what? Dr. Glidden's a really busy guy, and he needed somebody to cover for him. And I've been doing the show for periodically for about the last year. But now I'm the Friday guy. So what's on your mind today, Gary?
Okay, I'm about ready to sign up a lady out of town on a Healthy Start Pack for diabetes. But in the meantime, she says, well, I've got 4 other people in my prayer group that are looking for infertility help. And I thought, whoops, I better get up to speed. And the Dead Doctors Don't Lie has just got a short little paragraph. What can you tell me on how I can get fortified before I make the call for the visit to these 4 people?
Okay, there's an old saying in longevity. I don't know if you've heard this, but that old saying goes that Dr. Joel Wallach has gotten more women in America pregnant than any other guy.
Wonderful.
Listen, a large part of your body and women's bodies is devoted to procreation. Okay, we're made to multiply. So if they're having a hard time with that, there's a problem. Now, the good part of that is it's easy to get their reproductive health back. Now, what I would tell them, hormones are made of cholesterol. Okay? Hormones consist of cholesterol, so those people are going to be wanting to eat about 8 to 10 eggs a day. And the most important part of that little equation there is the yolk of the egg containing the cholesterol. Tell them to boil it for about 8 minutes and 20 seconds. And if they can't get the whole egg down, just the yolk, 10 of them a day. And for women, I would suggest a Healthy Start Pack, the HGH Youth Complex, okay? HGH Youth Complex. And for men, a Healthy Start Pack per 100 pounds body weight and 1 bottle of Prost FX. And if that doesn't kickstart things, I'll eat my hat. And even if they don't end up procreating, they'll have a lot of fun trying. How's that sound?
Mike, what did you say after the Healthy Start Pack? Something complex?
The Healthy Start Pack for women, I would suggest the Healthy Start Pack with the HGH Youth Complex. HGH Youth Complex.
Okay, I got it.
All right, that's real good for hormone health. Not only that, 8 to 10 eggs a day, lots of cholesterol. Hormones are made of cholesterol. Okay, they want the calcium in the OsteoFX for thyroid health. That's a big regulator of hormones right there. Okay, now did you hear what I was saying about the guys?
Run it once more if you would.
Healthy Start Pack per 100 pounds body weight. 1 bottle of Prost FX per 100 pounds body weight per month. And 8 to 10 eggs a day.
Got it. Okay.
All right, so Gary, this is your church group?
No, it's the lady that I'm signing up because of diabetes, and she says something about immediately, well, I've got a prayer group.
Right. So that came up. Okay,
That's
you know
how it
what?
came up.
Churches are the best for dealing with longevity. They really are. Gary, stay there. I want to talk to you after the break, and then we're going to go over to Henderson in New York. We got a hard break coming up, so hang around. I want to talk to you. Mike Phillip filling in for Dr. Peter Glidden. We'll be back after this. Welcome back. We're live. Mike Phillip filling in for Dr. Peter Glidden. Don't be shy. Call us up, 844-374-5433. Once again, 844-374-5433. So if you want to get involved with a team of really dedicated individuals looking at getting the nation's health back or building a business, which you'll have to do both at the same time, quite honestly, if you're going to make any money at this, call Team Glidden. We're there to help you. 1-800-705-6892. Once again, 1-800-705-6892. Let's go back over to Gary in East Lake. So, in my experience, in my experience, most people that are dealing with infertility or loss of libido or anything like that, you get them on the Mighty 90 and they're going to feel better right away and they will start responding. And like I said, Dr. Wallach's got this reputation for helping a lot of women get pregnant in America. And then when they are pregnant, you need to show them the video, the live webinar, the archived webinar on prenatal nutrition so that they can have a baby free of deformities and health problems right off the bat.
Excellent advice.
Well, it sounds good to me. Yeah, so sounds like you're a real leader, Gary. You're going out and presenting this stuff to people. I do that as well. I hold meetings in my local town here. I live in a city of about 16,000 people out on the prairies. There's not very many of us, but I tell you what, I found a little coffee shop and I started just showing the webinars to people. And if you build it, they will come. Like in short order, we packed that place to the rafters. And now we're moving into a bigger location. I'll tell you what, my team, just from doing these meetings and using the webinars and having me for Q&A after, we got about 22 signups in the last 30 days.
Excellent idea.
Yeah, so bring it to the people. Bring it to the people, Gary. Show them. And you know what? You'll find the ones that are smart enough to follow the right advice. What were you going to say there, buddy?
The HGHU, that's a complex for women, correct?
Women or men. Women or men.
men.
And here's how they're going to take it. I want you to tell them to take 8 of them before they go to bed.
8 before bed. Okay.
Yep. And what's going to happen, they'll have crazy, crazy dreams for the first little while. That's what happened with me and everybody else I know. But they'll have the best sleep of their life.
Good idea. If you got time for another one?
Yeah, I got time for another one. We got Henderson in New York and Brianne in Oregon waiting. You guys hang on, but Gary, go ahead.
Another one off the wall, a high school student said she's got lupus, and I thought, well, I didn't know what it is, let alone have it at a high school age. And I haven't furthered that one because I wanted to talk with the mom to see just what was up.
Okay, here's the deal. Lupus is often categorized, and wrongly, in our opinion, as an autoimmune disorder. Now, here's the deal. You can get a recording of this broadcast in a podcast form at gcnlive.com. I want you to get it, and then you can play this for these people, these people in the church group, the one with diabetes, the ones that have infertility issues. But I would like to specifically address lupus because I got firsthand experience with it. We brought Dr. Peter Glidden up here to Edmonton, Alberta, about 2 years ago, and there was a woman in the room that had been diagnosed with lupus, okay? And this was a very healthy woman. She wasn't quite as young as the one that you're talking about, but she was breaking down. She could hardly walk anymore. And the doctors told her basically, go home, you're going to die. Okay? So Dr. Glidden spent a bunch of time with this woman and talked to her for about, I don't know, it must have been an hour after he'd been done speaking for 2 hours. And I'm here to tell you right now, 6 months later, she fully recovered from lupus. Lupus can be beaten. And if this girl's in high school still, that her body's young and strong, you get her nutrified, okay, get her on the 90 for life, and she's going to have to up her ORAC value. ORAC stands for oxygen radical absorption capacity. And I want you to get about 200,000 points in her per day, okay? And there's a number of ways she can do that. But first of all, absolutely 100%, 1,000% gluten-free. Okay? No oil in a bottle. No fried foods. Get the 10 bad food list. Show it to her. And just ask this girl, how bad do you want to get better? Because if you want to get better bad enough, you're going to do everything I say. And not only that, but there's a lupus webinar in the Insider account with Dr. Glidden.
Okay. That's what I was going to ask you. How do I pick up these webinars or videos or that are archived?
Okay, well, that's easy. All you got to do, go to fireyourmdnow.com.
Okay.
Fireyourmdnow.com. That's Dr. Glidden's website. And you'll see an Insider membership. Join us, right? Click on that. It'll cost you $20 a month. But I tell you what, we've made that $20 back over and over through showing the webinars to people, because they might not necessarily believe you, but you give them Dr. Glidden. He's very eloquent in the way he explains things. Okay? And you got information on lupus, multiple sclerosis, Parkinson's, cancer, prenatal nutrition. You know what I mean? I could go on.
Beautiful.
And yeah, so then you take those webinars, and like I said, I found a little coffee shop that was willing to work with me. I just started showing the webinars live and doing a little bit of Q&A after. And we've seen people coming in droves. And here's another big secret, okay? Tell people up front, I am not here to BS you. If I don't know, I'll tell you, but I'll find out because I know somebody who does.
Beautiful.
Right?
Appreciate
So
it.
you can't go wrong, Gary. Keep doing what you're doing. You're a leader. Your community needs you. Go out there and help these people. We're going to let you go, and we're going to go over to Henderson in New York. Are you there, buddy?
Yes, I'm here.
Right
How are
on.
you?
So what's on your... I'm doing great. What's on your mind?
Yeah, I'm just calling. This is my first time calling. I had a torn pectoral muscle actually in 2007, and apparently there was no surgery that could have been done on the muscle. So the muscle actually has been hurting and paining me for the last 5 years. I've seen various number of surgeons, and they all are telling me the same thing, that because of the location of the muscle, the muscle injury, there is nothing that can be done, with the muscle. And since then, I've had 2 car accidents, 2 rear end accidents, I was hit by a truck and a car that also caused me to have herniated discs in my neck and my lower back. And apparently, I think my body may be most likely be stressed, and it has caused me a lot of problems with my digestion. In, I would say, October of 2012, I started getting problems where I couldn't swallow. And my digestion just kept getting worse and worse, constant pain, bloating, food's not digesting, constipation. And in 2012, I went to the emergency room, and they told me most likely I had appendicitis. They removed my appendix. The pain continued. I kept getting weight loss. Right now, I'm at maybe 115 pounds. I'm actually, my normal weight for my height, I'm about 5'7". I'm usually at 136. And right now, I'm all the way almost close to 115. Since then, in October of 2012, I was constantly getting this. The pain continued. Finally, they told me it was my gallbladder. They removed the gallbladder also in October of 2012, and I've been in pain ever since. And apparently, I'm just I can't get any help. So today is my final straw. I'm trying to find out if there's something I can do.
You know what? First of all, wow. I mean, the best medical science out there, and they just keep removing stuff, and it doesn't get any better, and it gets worse. That's the first thing that stuck out to me. Second of all, I was at my final straw at one point in time. That was about 3 years ago. And I had some similar problems. Like, I'll tell you what, Henderson, I was on the same road as you. I just was lucky enough to find the right information before they started pulling organs out of my body, trying to figure out what happened. And I'm going to, like, you've got the torn muscle thing, you've got the bone and joint problems, but might I just say, Henderson, you're a very unlucky guy.
Yeah, everyone tells me that.
Yeah, you got hit by a car twice.
A car and a truck.
A car and a truck, and you tore a muscle. They're pulling stuff out. Unreal.
Yeah, so, it's unbelievable.
It is unbelievable, but I'm glad you found this show. How did you hear about us, by the way?
I had a friend. She asked me to go online and just to watch. I think it's Dr. Wallace, Dr. Gleason. Right, just to go take a look at his webinars, and apparently I just Googled it and I saw that there was a show. So
okay, well, you know what? You're a lucky guy to have that friend because she put you in the right place. Now, first of all, we're going to start out with your digestion. Okay? That is the most important place to start. That's where all nutrition starts, and that's, in my opinion, where all healing starts. Okay? Your body absolutely needs 90 essential vitamins, minerals, and amino and fatty acids. Okay? And the reason that you were breaking down all that time is because you weren't getting them, and now you've got digestion problems, and that's going to further inhibit your ability for your body to take in the right nutrients and heal itself. I hear the music. We got a break coming up. And Henderson, I want you to stay right there because we're going to get back into this on the other side. Mike Phillip filling in for Dr. Peter Glidden, talking about digestion with Henderson, back after this. We're back live, Fire Your MD Radio on GCN Radio Network. I love talk radio. I always have. And this is a real dream come true for me, being able to fill in for the ever awesome Dr. Peter Glidden. We got Henderson on the line. He's got some real problems to get through. He's at the end of his rope, last straw, but he found the right place. Now, before the break, Henderson, we were talking about your digestion.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, so this is going to take a few steps. We're going to have to make a plan here.
Okay.
First of all, you need to get your digestion on track because that is where nutrition begins. If you can't, Dr. Wallach is fond of saying, it's not what you eat, it's what you absorb. Okay, and if you cannot absorb the vitamins, minerals, and amino and fatty acids, they're not going to do you a lot of good. Okay, so I want you to get back in touch with your friend, okay, and I want you to go to fireyourmdnow.com.
Okay.
Okay, fireyourmdnow.com. And if you look on the right-hand side, you'll see a blue arrow. Follow that down. Put your email address in and register with the site, and Dr. Glidden's staff will send you a 10 bad food list.
Okay.
Okay, now the reason for this 10 bad food list is because there's a lot of foods that we grow up here in North America eating all of our lives that are actually gumming up the works. They're inhibiting your potential to absorb nutrients into your body, and you're not getting enough from the food in the first place. All right? Now,
Right.
I had really bad stomach acid problems for a long time. I would go to work and I had to have a bottle of extra strength Zantac in my truck, and you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I tell you what, once I started following that 10 bad food list, and once I got the Mighty 90 into my body, heartburn is a bad memory for me. It's gone. Now, what you need to do is build up your stomach acids, okay?
Okay.
Now, heartburn is not a lack, or it's not too much stomach acid, it's a lack of stomach acid. Okay, the doctors have it completely ass backwards. Completely backwards. And you know that from your experience because you've been doing everything they say.
Right.
And they keep removing organs and the problem doesn't get better. You're still suffering. Like, what are they going to take out of you next?
Right, and I'm constantly I just did a colonoscopy, I just did an endoscopy, and I'm in more pain than before I did the 2 procedures.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. They're a bunch of butchers, really. So, here's the deal. Henderson, do you got a pen?
Yes, I do. I have it.
All right. I want you to get back with your friend there, and I want you to have them help you get a healthy body digestion pack. Healthy body digestion pack. All right?
Okay.
Now, it's going to cost you a little bit of money, but the rewards are going to pay off big time. Now, with that, I want you to eat lots of butter and salt. Okay, I want you to avoid gluten. I want you to avoid oil in a bottle, any kind of oil, and
Okay.
fried foods. But the biggest of those, in my opinion, in your case, is the gluten. Okay, gluten absolutely destroys your digestive system, wrecks it. So you're going to have to get that back. The good news is stomach acids consist of calcium and salt. Okay, so you want to power up your stomach acid so that whatever you're eating can get broken down properly in order to be absorbed in your small intestine. Okay, so once that happens, okay, once you get, not only that, you had your gallbladder removed, you're going to need digestive enzymes. Okay, you're probably going to need to take those for the rest of your life because you don't have a gallbladder, right?
Right, exactly.
But it's better than taking drugs and prescription painkillers because they're not going to fix the problem. So one healthy digestion start pack, and then once you get your digestion working properly, and I'm pretty sure you will, then I want you to eat lots and lots of eggs and meat, steak, chicken, eggs, all right?
Okay.
Because you've got that torn muscle in your pectoral. Okay, you need lots of protein to rebuild that. All right, you need the cholesterol, you need the protein. The eggs are the protein by which all other proteins are measured, and you're going to need those. Henderson, I'm going to let you go. I wish you luck. Keep in touch with the show.
Okay, I'll do that.
Do better. Mike Phillip filling in for Dr. Peter Glidden. We'll be back with Brianna and Leanne after this. Welcome back. We're live. Mike Phillip filling in for Dr. Peter Glidden. Big shout out to Dave in Michigan, good friend of the show. Dave, keep doing what you're doing. You're awesome, buddy. Also, I'd like to give another shout out to Joey, Jamin, and Dennis working on the deck out at the lake lot. Dennis, listen to your son. He knows what he's talking about. If you want to get involved with Team Glidden, get your health back without drugs and surgery, and build a great life in a community of people that are dedicated to fighting pain and disease, Team Glidden's there for you. 1-800-705-6892. Once again, 1-800-705-6892. And now I'm going to go over to the most important part of this radio show, and that is Brianna in Oregon, and then Leanne in California. Brianna, are you there?
I am.
Well, it's good to hear you. How are you today?
I'm doing good, thank you. Thanks for taking my call.
Absolutely. What's on your mind, Brianna?
I have a family friend who is 11 months ago went in, had a mass on her breast and was told it was just a cyst. And then 3 months ago, she was diagnosed with breast cancer. And it is spread to 3 of her peripheral nodes. And she was told to start chemotherapy this Monday. And we watched the Dr. Glidden's cancer webinar in the YGY University, and they had recommended the selenium at 200 micrograms a day, and she's already been taking 400 micrograms 2 times a day. So we were wondering what else she could do.
How long has she been taking 400 micrograms a day?
For the last 6 months.
6 months. Okay. So what else she could do? She's taking the selenium. Is that along with the Healthy Start Pack?
No, that was, excuse me, I've added the Healthy Start Pack for her. We've ordered it.
Okay.
And we're going to add that to it. But I've
Right.
also heard that the Z Radical has been extremely effective with cancer battles. So we're trying to figure out what, and Dr. Glidden had also recommended if you're fighting something to do 100,000 orca a day. So we're trying to figure out what would be the best things to get.
Okay. Okay. You know what? I would actually up that to 200,000 if it's possible. Like if you
Okay.
are able to afford it, I would up it to 200,000. Now there's a few ways you can do that.
Okay.
Okay. The Healthy Chocolate has about 17,000 ORAC per piece. Okay. And if you're in the weeds already, you want to fight it aggressively. Is she doing the 10 bad food list?
Yes, she's starting that too. I've just been in talk with her in the last 3 days, so we're
Excellent.
trying to make a plan to attack. And money is not an option. She told me to order whatever you guys advised, and she'll pay for it.
Okay, so well, that makes my job easy.
Yeah,
Here's
mine
the deal.
too.
The Z Radical, there's never been an ORAC value established on that, okay?
Okay.
But if you can get her on as much as she can afford, I mean, have her drink a bottle every 2 days. But, there's other ways too. The Healthy Chocolate has a really huge ORAC value, okay? About 17,000 points per piece, if I understand correctly. Okay, then the Cell Shield RTQ per serving, that's 2 capsules, about 15,800. Okay, you want to up that ORAC value as much as possible. Now, with the selenium, I don't have breast cancer, by the way, but
That's good to know.
I take about 6 of those a day.
Okay.
And
So,
yeah, I would even up that as well. So if this woman sounds like she's really serious and doesn't want to go through with the mastectomy and all that, so I would up everything. It's not going to kill her, right? It's not going to hurt her to up her ORAC value.
okay.
It's just not.
How
It's
much
just not.
selenium?
Well,
she up
how
it
much
to?
does she weigh?
I don't know. I didn't ask for that.
Do you have a ballpark?
I would say between 160 and 175 maybe, and she's taller, so maybe 5'7".
Yeah, so about 2 bottles a month.
2 bottles a month. Okay.
Yeah, 2 bottles a month. And if she can get about 3 or 4 of the pieces of that triple treat chocolate in her a day, do it.
Okay.
And then the Z Radical is always a good idea. Like if you go on YouTube, you can find testimonies of people that beat cancer with just the Z Radical.
Okay.
All right.
Add the radical, the chocolate to the. Now, is the Healthy Start Pack just the basic one, or do I need one of the specialized ones for her?
If I was going to do that, I would go with a Healthy Brain and Heart Pack, and then it's got the Selenium and Cell Shield RTQ added in.
Heart and brain, okay.
Yep. And then up the Triple Treat Chocolate.
Okay.
Use that if she can get about 4 or 5 pieces in her a day. Immortalium. 4 Immortalium per day will give her an ORAC value of 10,500 points. Okay?
For a day, 10,500. Okay.
You betcha. Yeah, so, and what I want you to do is keep in touch with the show, because I'm really looking forward to hearing you calling back, Brianna, and tell us that your friend is okay and she's running through the streets screaming about how happy she is. Because,
yes.
Yeah, I just pulled up a story on Fox News. I was going to cover it in the show, but I got busy with calls. And most breast cancer patients who have double mastectomy don't need it. So what's happening is doctors are having people get a double mastectomy even before they have cancer, or if they just identify what they think is cancer in one of the breasts. And it's absolutely unnecessary. And there's a whole lot of complications that come with that. So have her stay on top of the 10 bad food list, up her ORAC value exponentially, and keep in touch with the show. Now, how long have you been using the products, Brianna?
6 months.
6 months. And what have you noticed?
They've been more energy, but they give me a very bad headache. But I just fight the headache to, yes.
Are you following the 10 bad food list?
Yes.
Okay, how many EFAs are you taking a day?
2.
All right, up the EFAs.
Okay.
I take about 9 a day myself, 9 to 15.
Okay.
Okay, so if you feel a headache coming on, take some extra EFAs. See what that does for you. Keep following that 10 bad food list, and keep in touch with the show, Brianna. We want to hear from you. You're doing a great job. I appreciate you bringing this message to people in your community over there in Oregon, because I can't be in Oregon, and neither can Dr. Glidden, only once in a while maybe, but you are the last best hope for your family, friends, and community. Keep up the good work, Brianna.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your help.
I appreciate you calling. Take care. We're going to let you go, and we're going to jump over to Leanne in California. Leanne is a total beginner. She wants to know what to do, but I want to hear exactly from her where she's at. How you doing, Leanne?
I'm fine, thank you. Thank you
Excellent.
for helping me.
Well, I'll do what I can. What's going on?
Okay, I've been had a lady introduced this product to me, and then I've been drinking about a week, and I feel it's too sweet. Every time when I eat something sweet, I feel sweaty. I get sweat. And so I wonder if that relate to candida or something.
Well, you've been taking it for 1 week?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Then I quit because of, I guess, the reaction of a sweaty.
did your friend tell you about the 10 bad food list?
Oh, I'm on it. I've been with the anti-aging doctor for 2-3 years because I was sick and hospitalized. And now I look, my situation is almost like a metabolism out of balance. I feel chill all the time. And so I'm with a doctor that give me a natural homeopathic thyroid and also hormone, progesterone. But I still feel very chill, cold all the time.
Okay, so you've only been on a week.
Yeah, and I just have to take one thing at a time to try. It's like right now I just put that calcium things I drink. I feel sweat, So that's what scares a little bit, like my pancreas or something. I don't know. No doctor can help me on that one.
Listen, I was talking to Dr. Wallach, okay?
Uh-huh.
And he was telling me that a lot of times when you're getting your health back, you'll kind of go through a reverse process.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? We were talking to a guy that his sister had multiple sclerosis.
Uh-huh.
And she was taking the products for a while, and all of a sudden she was getting tingling in her arms and legs. and she'd never had that before, and she was worried. But the fact is, that was just part of the natural progression. There was a reversal of feeling coming back. So if you're experiencing sweatiness and whatnot while you're taking the products, I want you to keep in mind that it's only been 1 week, Leanne. And I would really like you to stick with it. All right? Follow that 10 bad food list and keep in touch with this show. You've got the 1-1844 number that you can call in with. But it's only been a week. And that's not a good example of what can happen because you just started. So, Leanne, my best advice to you would be to keep doing what you're doing. Don't quit. And keep in touch with the show. See what Dr. Glidden has to say about that. He might have some better advice. But don't stop. Okay,
no, I won't. I want to try. As long as this thing doesn't hurt my pancreas, like a sugar diabetes issue.
Yeah, it's not going to hurt your pancreas. Are you taking the sweeties at all?
From where?
There's a product called Sweeties from Youngevity. Okay.
Oh, I don't know anything about it. That's what I'm calling.
Oh, that's what you're calling. Okay. Oh. Okay, I want you to get back to your friend there and let her know that you want the Sweeties. And once you get those, I want you to take 3 per day.
Okay.
All right? For your pancreas. And for the production of insulin and for the utilization of sugar in your body and in your cells. You need sugar. Sugar's not your enemy. Okay, I wouldn't go overboard on it because you're having some issues with it, but you need to get 2 minerals in you. That's chromium and vanadium. And they are present in the Sweeties. Okay, like as far back as 1957, it's been known that chromium will reverse type 2 diabetes in mice. Okay, so they've known this a long time. So avoid sugar. Keep taking what you are. Get back to your friend and tell her you want 1 bottle of Sweeties. And I want you to take 3 of those per day, Leanne, all right?
3 a day, okay.
3 a day. Add that to what you're doing now and keep in touch with the show.
Oh,
all right,
good.
Leanne?
Good. Can I ask you another question for my brother?
Absolutely.
He's developing Parkinson's disease. Is this product will helping him?
Okay, well, there's a few things that he's going to need with Parkinson's, okay? Parkinson's is scar tissue in the brain. All right? He's going to have to take a few things to rebuild his brain and get his body flowing the way it's supposed to. I hear the music, Leanne. That means I have to go to break, but we're going to come back to you after this. And then Brianna called back in. She wants to talk some more. That's fine with me. Mike Phillip filling in for Dr. Peter Glidden. We'll be back after this. Welcome back. We're live. Mike Phillip filling in for Dr. Peter Glidden. Talking to Leanne in California, talking about her brother developing Parkinson's. We got Brianna on the line with another question. I got about 5 minutes left here, but I'm going to try and address all these issues. Brianna, hang on. Now, Leanne, I want your brother to get in him 200,000 ORAC points per day. You're going to get back. You're going to have to get back in touch with your friend there, and find out how to do that. But also, he's going to need a Healthy Start Pack, 1 per 100 pounds body weight per month. And I want your brother to eat 8 to 10 eggs per day. Now, if he can only get in the yolk, that's fine. We want that cholesterol, okay? We need to heal your brother's brain, and he is the only one that can do that. So if he can take and boil an egg, 8 to 10 eggs a day for 8 minutes and 20 seconds, or scramble them so that they're soft, he wants that cholesterol in him. And keep in touch with the show. Keep in touch with your friend. You got a real good friend there. She's steering you in the right direction. Let's get you and your brother's health back. And you'll be calling this show in. You'll be so happy. And we want to hear that. All right, Leanne?
Okay, thank you so much.
Take care, Leanne. We'll talk to you later. We're going to let you go and go over back to Brianna. Brianna, you're back. How you doing?
I am good, thank you.
Got one more question. Let's hear it.
I did. I have a 18-year-old cousin who was just diagnosed last week with Guillain-Barré syndrome and general neuropathy.
Guillain-Barré.
and a friend who has peripheral neuropathy. What would you suggest for those two people?
10 bad food list, healthy start pack, and lots of minerals. Okay?
Okay.
I would suggest that they get, and this is just my opinion, I'm not a doctor, I'm not here to BS anybody. I got, that's my little disclaimer. I have to go through that for legal reasons, right? So, I would suggest that they get 2 bottles per month of minerals in them, as well as a healthy start pack, 1 per 100 pounds body weight, high ORAC value, okay, as whatever they can get, using the same products as I was just talking about with your friend with breast cancer. Selenium, everybody gets selenium. Everybody gets selenium, 1 bottle per 100 pounds body weight. That's the Glidden diet. And call back on the show and let us know how they're doing, and Dr. Glidden or me will help them get on the right track. Does that sound good to you, Brianna?
Thank you. Yes, it does.
Brianna, you're awesome. Thanks for calling in.
Have a good day.
Yeah, you too. Well, what a day it's been. The last 2 hours has gone by really fast. I'm very fortunate to be covering this show for Dr. Glidden. Like I said, I've seen people at the end of the line. I had this girl that actually went to school with my son, and he's 19. She was shifting from type 1 diabetes into type 2, or type 2 into type 1, sorry. And we were able to completely reverse it. That girl doesn't need any insulin. She doesn't need anything. And that was just with a couple products. So this longevity thing is real. If you're out there and you got questions, Henderson in New York, you can do it, man. You can do it. And it might take a little bit of sacrifice up front. Anything that's worth having is worth working for. Don't give up. Do not give up. Get it back in touch with the person that showed you the direction of this show. All right? Keep listening to this show. Go to fireyourmdnow.com. $20 a month will make you an insider, and you will have access to some of the best information that you will ever see in your life. I mean, it's unreal. We heard from a lady that while she was under an anesthetic to get her thyroid removed, they just decided to give her a hysterectomy. Isn't that wonderful? You want to not be a statistic? Give us a call. Team Glidden, 1-800-705-6892. We'll answer that line all weekend and next week. 1-800-705-6892. Mike Phillip, signing off. Thanks for listening. We'll talk to you next Friday. Phillip out.